people, 18th of March 2018, and you're back with Dan in Essex, UK for the third part of the tagging series. So here are the channels that I'm going to tag. So the first one will be Stephen Hayes. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I've spoke a lot about his channel before. Now, I strongly suggest you check that one out. Just type in Stephen Hayes onto YouTube and you'll see his caricature come up. And you want to click on it and you want to look at it because you can spend hours on that channel. It's incredibly interesting. He runs an amateur orchard and he's got so many different varieties of apple, plum, pear. He goes into grapes. He goes into all sorts of subjects. And the first ever video I think I saw of his was about peaches, funnily enough, because as you know, I like to grow peaches, and I saw one of his peaches videos talk about leaf curl, etc., which I've gone into a lot of detail about on my channel. So check him out. Stephen Hayes is an all-round decent bloke from what I can see of him, and he does this thing some years by which he sends out scions for grafting, and he sends them, you know, to the UK, all over Europe, all at his own expense. And you know, he really is passionate about apples, heritage varieties. I believe at one point, maybe he still does, I don't know, he used to sell apples, traditional varieties at farmers markets, and he goes on to talk a little bit about that subject. So Stephen Hayes, look through his channel and you'll learn a lot. I mean, look, Winter King, he sent me them scions for grafting. Queen Cox, he sent me them, and Pitmaster Pineapple. So he really is, that says Pitmaston Pineapple. That was my fault because when I typed out my varieties I want, what he does is he prints them off and sticks them onto the plastic. So I typed it wrong. I must have probably done it, but it doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, so he's really a good channel, and there's so much on there. So yeah, Stephen Hayes. Another one is North and Cloudy. Now this is a guy called Craig who lives in Scotland. Now, for those of you who you know, are viewing my channel from abroad, etc., Scotland tends to be one of the parts of the UK where which they get harsher weather than what we get down here. Maybe a bit more rain, maybe a bit more cold, snow, etc. So I think you could find that interesting. He hasn't got too many videos on there. I think he started uploading last year, so I'm hoping he's going to continue with that because I think there could be a lot of interest with regards to that, and the encouraging and inspiring people to grow things in less than ideal climates. So that one, North and Cloudy, check that one out. Another one is Grow Tropical UK, and I found this channel very good because, unsurprisingly, as the name says, it's about growing tropical things here in the UK, which I've dabbled in myself, but he goes into a lot of detail and his videos are very good quality. So check that one out. I remember one of the first videos I ever looked on his was something to do with growing citrus in the UK. It shows about covering them up and heaters, etc. So if you're interested in that subject, Grow Tropical UK. Now another one here is a channel called CulinaryGardenKitchen, and this is a chap called Mark, and he hasn't got too many videos on there, nor has he got, you know, a massive amount of subscribers. But I tell you what, he grew some fantastic watermelons last year. I mean, he made my attempt last year look pitiful. I mean, I remember, I think he had them in a container. There was like some decent sized watermelons on there. He had a lot. So yeah, I suggest you you check that one out, if nothing more than to see these watermelons that he grew, because absolutely fantastic, brilliant attempt. And considering he says on his channel novice gardener, he really did, he achieved well. So that's Mark at Culinary Garden Kitchen, so check him out. Right, now here's another one. Now this is not strictly about gardening, so to speak, but a channel called Samthetree Man. Now I spoke about him before, and as you know, I have an interest in trees, and this shows a tree surgeon in operation, if you will. He shows some of the things that you know, tree surgeons do on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, that's Sam the Tree Man. I suggest you you check that one out as well. So what I'm going to do now, let's go through them again, shall we? So you got North and Cloudy, Stephen Hayes, Grow Tropical UK, Culinary Garden Kitchen, and Sam the Tree Man. And what I'm going to do is upload this video, and I'm going to go on the laptop, which you know, many of you that I'm not exactly Mr. Computer, so I'm going to go on and I'm going to attempt to copy and paste the links. What about that then, eh? So all you have to do is just click on them and you can go straight to these channels. Isn't that absolutely fantastic? And that goes to another point of mine about why YouTube again. Because if you think about television, which was probably before internet, etc., the most popular, rightly or wrongly, admittedly, form of entertainment, you couldn't really interact with it too much. Yeah, I touched on this in the other video. Yeah, you could phone into talk shows, couldn't you, and radio shows. You could do that, but with YouTube, except you can directly interact with the person and ask them questions. I mean, you can hardly stop Monty Dom on what's it called, Gardener's World, and bomb him some questions, can you? Although he might answer them if you can find a way of talking to him, writing him a letter or something, I don't know, or maybe he's got a column somewhere. But, with YouTube you can find someone that, you're liking their information and you want to ask a bit more for them to elaborate. You can ask them the question. It doesn't mean they'll reply, but certainly another advantage of why YouTube. So I hope you liked that. They're the answers to the questions, and they're the ones that I've tagged. So leave your comments down below. Take care, and we'll speak soon, won't we? All the best.